We welcome you to episode 43 of Battin and Chattin here on the Eastern Observer alongside Denis Tuohy. I'm Brandon Natale. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube to be kept in on the loop on everything Eastern Observer, and most importantly, Battin and Chattin. A show can be found on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts can be found. Our show is presented to you by Black Cats NYC. Be sure to download their newest hit single, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us. I mean, is it really a newest hit single? Sure, but I'm not really sure, but hey, whatever. Which can be found wherever music is found, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, SiriusXM, Satellite Radio, and many others. Dennis, how you doing today in this fine evening?
I'm doing good, man. I had a busy night. Knicks just clinched.
Yeah, man, let's go Knicks, baby.
So I think all the rounds are decided.
Let's go Knicks.
Right? Am I crazy on? Obviously, we're a basketball.
It's baseball. Show. This ain't balling and hooping. This is Battin and Chattin here in the Eastern Observer. We talk everything baseball.
This isn't buckets and banter.
Okay,
that was the name of the show for that company that I was going to work for. Remember that?
Say it again.
Do you remember that company that I was going to work for with Nick?
I do.
Our show was going to be called Buckets and Banter. Pretty funny.
Buckets and Banter, yeah. No, I know. I remember it.
Yeah.
I wish I followed them more, but hey, at least you got the mic and you jingled a little bit. So hey, I don't think it was I think it was a little bit of decent situation.
Yeah, so good for the Knicks. Good for the Knicks. I know a lot of Knicks fans are going to be listening to this, watching this, consuming this in some facet. But now it's on to baseball. And it has been kind of a wild season so far. A lot of benches clearing. What's with that?
I'm not sure. It's definitely been a little crazy.
I watched the did you watch that Rays Brewers thing?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of escalated slowly. I don't know if you saw it. It was like kind of building up to where they just like came together. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
Nobody got hit aside from Rhys Hoskins by his own teammate because he was trying to break it up.
Okay. So
the whole thing was just lame. Guy hit a home run, took a little too long, then he got hit. He definitely intentionally hit Paredes too. I forget the name of the pitcher. Definitely intentionally hit him. Come on. And then it was just the whole thing was stupid. Like so many of these benches clearing things now are just stupid. And I was kind of like we talked about it when it happened, like the Jose Ramirez, Tim Anderson thing,
right?
And like I kind of wouldn't mind that if it was like hockey, where it's like, all right, you two want to fight. But instead, it's like, oh my god, both teams are benches clearing. Now the bullpen's got to run it with the dumbest thing ever. Like it's at a break, stand there and put their hands in their hoodie pockets. Like, oh my god. The whole thing is lame. The whole thing is lame. And then you watch like some of like the old fights that used to happen. It was just like a riot. Like guys are just it was like literally something out of the Warriors where like guys are just getting like destroyed.
Right.
Or like legitimately squaring up and the umps are just like, you guys got 10 minutes. Whatever you want in 10 minutes. You know, like and now it's just the whole thing is just bizarre. I don't particularly understand what happened the other night between the Brewers and Rays. I watched it, and I still don't really understand what it was like. That's what caused all this. Like he was a little slow around the bases after hitting a home run in the second inning. What? Like the whole thing. I was like, I can't. I can't take this anymore, man.
What's that?
The stupidity. Stupidity, man. Stupidity.
Hey, look, it's
benches clearing, the whole unwritten rules, the whole lot of it, man. I just can't take it anymore. I just it used to be newsworthy. We got to talk about it. I don't want to. I'm gonna be honest.
It's stupid. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, granted, I'm not getting hit with a 100-mile-per-hour ball.
Yeah, but it's not like the guy charged or whatever. It was after he got tagged out later on.
It's crazy how this fights, and I mean, this fight. I mean, teams. It gets chippy. It gets. You're in the moment, it's competitive, and you don't like how people are. People are. You're gonna. It's gonna be like, hey man. Like you're gonna be like, hey, like what are you doing? And then, I remember in football, like this past year, I remember when the Jets played the Bills week one. I remember in the fourth quarter when Josh Allen fumbled and the Jets got the ball back. I remember it was getting a little chirpy, like chippy. 'Cause, you just it gets competitive, and that's how in baseball. That's just how it is. It's in the heat of the moment. Like and like I said, at the same time, you feel for Hoskins because well, no, not Hoskins. Who's the player got hit?
Isaac Paredes.
Right, like it sucks to get hit by that ball. Like it's 100 miles per hour. I can't imagine it. Um, but I almost saw a brawl week one. I almost did. The second game of the year. It just happens. You can't control it. But
Also with the Brewers. The Brewers and the Rays, I feel like they've been in every single one this year.
yeah, that's true.
Like it's like because then remember the Rays and the Blue Jays earlier? It's like, dude, like not for nothing. Like none of you guys are gonna do anything. Am I wrong? I think that's why the Tim Anderson, Jose Ramirez thing was such a big deal. It's like usually it's like, come on, you guys aren't going to do anything. He's like, wow, actually, they actually are legitimately swinging at each other. This is
And down goes
refreshing.
Anderson.
Yeah,
It was like Ryan Garcia and
Cozy.
Ryan Garcia and Heaney, whatever his name is. It was like that.
I don't do boxing.
It was like I guess they turned into that. But it's that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's
It's the way the cookie crumbles, man. That's it. What are you gonna do?
it's it exactly. But that I did see that. Luckily, nothing escalated. But it's like what does a bullpen feel the need to get involved? It's like hey, stay in the bullpen.
Yeah, like what is
Stay in
this
the bullpen.
Braveheart?
Like
What are
stay
you
in the
gonna
bullpen. What
charge
are you
into
doing?
battle? Give me a break. Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's the
like stay in the bullpen. What are you
stupidest thing
doing?
in sports. Oh, here come the bullpens. For what? For what? It's so dumb. On to other stuff.
Yeah,
Guys got suspended. Whoop de doo.
say it again.
Guys got suspended for it. Oh no, the horror. for to miss to whiff on a bunch of slaps. Oh my god. We can't have this in our game. Freaking stupid. Brewers, Rays, suspensions. Fight. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Google.
I just see this now. A lot of stuff grinded in my gears with the Mets. Well, not
Grind
the
away,
Mets in
man.
particular. What?
Oh, it was I'm sorry, it wasn't Isaac Paredes. I said his name like 10 times. It was Jose Siri.
Yeah. Okay.
Goes to show what I know. It's embarrassing.
I think it was more of
Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager, Tampa Bay Rays outfielder, Jose Siri. Three Milwaukee Brewers. Freddie Peralta
but no.
and
I
Abner
want
Uribe.
let's get on to the Mets. You know what really grinded my gears? Not the
Okay.
Mets in particular, but the things that were going on during the Mets Cubs series. I don't know if you saw the game last night. As you put on your glasses, your listening glasses. Um,
Come on, man. I'm trying to watch it. Actually, I really don't need this because the game is over. I was watching the next game so I could see the clock.
I got the post game. I was gonna say, but yeah, it's just like it's insane to me because like what was going on. Because I don't know if you saw, but like obviously, as McNeil hit a sac fly to left field, and it was the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Alonso in third. They're trying to obviously tie the game. They threw the ball. Swanson was like the cutoff, and he threw it to home plate, where Alonso was essentially tagged out. But as you look at the replay, you see that I think it was Contreras. No, not Contreras. Whoever's the catcher on the Cubs. He had his foot on home plate, and Alonso was still ruled out at the end. Even when they called New York, Alonso was still called out, and so you can see that this interference blocking but it's like it's stupid because like you can see that he's blocking home plate. His foot is on the plate. You can tell me you're not going to put that away. Like you're not going to make him safe for that. I don't know what New York was thinking. It was I think it was Gomes. Yeah, it was Jan Gomes. That's who was the catcher.
That's my guy. The pride of
That
Brazil.
that's who's the catcher. He's clearly blocking home plate. And the fact that they just made I don't know. I don't like how whatever rule they had where they can do that or something like that. I don't know, but either way, Alonso could have been safe because like his hand was going up, then it was going down. Like if you're running or getting for home plate, you're trying to be safe. You gotta do a better job sliding. And you just see Mendoza was furious, as Mets fans should be as well. Um, but that's one call. I don't know if you saw it, but P. Crow Armstrong, who was a former Met prospect who they traded for Javier Baez, crazy enough, he's now in the big leagues. Yeah, crazy. And so as he was running the second on it to get a double, his helmet was coming off, and he put his helmet on home plate. No, not home plate, second base to be safe. Like, really? And Steve Gelbs called the MLB, or someone from the MLB told him like if that was, if by rule he would have been out. So had the umpires know that he would have been out, but they didn't. He still was able to get to second. So I don't know what kind of rules there are that are just against the Mets, but it's ridiculous. Some things that are just going on are just ridiculous. Like Dennis, can you imagine sliding to second base and you just use your helmet to just be safe, and then blocking home plate? I don't know if you saw it, but like I would look it up if I were you. But it's just crazy.
Yeah, let's see if I can.
But luckily, the Mets won today. It was a great game though. Great game at the end. Lindor was clutch. He was having flu-like symptoms, so he was taken out of last night. And then came back in the game today. He was actually scratched, and he came back and he hit a great 2-run RBI walk-off hit.
That's good.
Yeah, so he's coming around. His average is now 207. Should be better, but I'll take it. Alonso's average is dipping now. Jesus, it's like 218.
He's been struggling all year, man. Aside from that 1 week a few weeks ago. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Alonso might have been in there already.
Yeah, you see it, right?
Yeah, I thought he was safe regardless. I mean, it's at least close. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if that's blocking.
Why not?
I'm going to be honest, bro. I don't know. I'm watching it right now. I mean, that's where the ball is going. No, I mean, it's because the ball was going there. So I don't. I could definitely see both ways. Right, because this is where the ball is going, isn't it? The blocking rules are kind of wonky, right? But
And at the end, you could see Mendoza when he was yelling at the umpire. The umpire was just say like, "Hey, don't look at me. If you want to, I didn't make the call. Go to New York. Like, if you got a problem, go to New York." And Mendoza was furious. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, they haven't been winning with the Connect jerseys. Have you noticed? They were pretty cool though when they
No,
put
they wore them like twice
3 times.
already.
Yeah, I think the
What?
rule is somehow, some way, like if a pitcher requests to wear it, they can do it. That's when they wear it,
Oh,
or I think every Saturday for like the next month. I think, but
okay.
that's yeah. But it's like I don't know. But if the pitcher requests it, like you're gonna wear it. It's just weird. It's a weird rotation. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's I don't know what to tell you.
But that's Christian
Oh,
Scott
that's
got called up.
oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the Pete Crow Armstrong slide now. No. When did the Pete Crow Armstrong play happen? Today?
yeah.
Okay. I mean, like,
Come on.
dude, Shoto Imanaga is a beast. Oh my
Yeah,
god, 5-0 with it. A .78 ERA. Jeez.
he's one of my fantasy
Dude,
pitchers.
yeah, credit to you, man. That was an excellent draft
That was a
pick.
great trade.
Was it late the Pico Armstrong play or no? Was it
I'm
like
not
late in
sure.
the game?
I'm not too sure.
That's the worst thing about working middays, man. I worked 12 to 9:30 today. Oof. Some days, man, I gotta like
Also, well,
speed run.
speaking of that though, Sterling Marte, great outfielder. It's the reason why the Mets signed. He's definitely having a rebound type year. We'll talk
I've
about last year.
heard.
He was injury riddled. He's been hitting decently. Um, he's been hitting decently, and today he had like 2 outfield assists that essentially kept the Mets in the game. So if honestly, if it wasn't for him, the Mets wouldn't have won today.
Yeah.
So I want to give credit to him for that.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is scary.
Christian Scott. He's the 5th prospect in the Mets system, and it's pretty cool that he's getting called up because obviously Kota Senga, he's not back yet. That's going to be a good rotation though. Him and Scott, and then you still got McGill and Peterson, who among the injured players. Um, Mets president of baseball operations David Stearns discussed the possibility of Scott being called up on Monday when he said Stearns did say Christian's done everything we could have hoped and expected. Per John Flanagan of SNY. This is Scott Pellick of Bleacher Report for the news. Scott has pitched for a Triple-A Syracuse Mets this season. Has a 3.20 ERA, 0.71 WHIP, 36 strikeouts, and 25.1 innings. Bump up in level competition has done nothing to impact his overall effectiveness. He was in 3 different levels in Single A, Class A, and Double A last season, and finished with a 2.57 ERA, 0.86 WHIP, and 107 strikeouts in 87.2 innings. And that again is Scott Pellick of Bleach Report. So hey, I like this. Like I said, he's been talked about a lot. Everyone's been waiting for him to get called up. I didn't think it was going to be this soon. It's only been 25 innings. I think it's great. The Mets are known recently for the prospects they have in the hitting department. But what about the pitching? And this kind of proves it right here. Hey, there you go. Here's an example. And I'm excited. This is great. I love when a new prospect comes up to the system. It's great. A homegrown farm talent coming up, and hopefully we'll see you next Christian Scott. The Mets are definitely known for pitching and developing them too. So hopefully this is a player that can show an example of that. But we'll see. I like the move.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys have needed pitching depth for all season long. Without Senga, let's be honest, it's not like Luis Severino has a reputation of being, healthy.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but his innings the other day. Hey, come on.
Tremendous game the other day. Like no
Great game. It
disrespect.
sucks they
One earned
blew
run
it.
over 8 innings, bro. You'll take that any day of the week.
It sucks they blew. Yeah, that's crazy. He had a no hit.
Yeah, 1 hit. Like I mean, terrific game. Like, no disrespect to Luis Severino. I'm just saying that we
Yeah,
all
I know.
know
Yeah,
one of the biggest issues with him is the health.
right, right.
You have other guys on the roster that are kind of getting up there in age too. You need something. So for you guys to call this dude up, I like it. I like it. Especially, hey man, you never know what this dude could do.
Right.
So I'm glad for you. I'm glad for you. I always like the you know what I always tell you. My dream is to see Mets Yankees World Series. I was born in 2000, so I missed that World Series that year. I was born July 15, 2000.
I was born
Yeah,
June
I was
27th,
crunching tape.
2000. So we were alive to, when we were babies. So
Yeah, like I said, we're crunching tape.
I would love to see. Would you go on a heartbeat? Like if you said, "Hey, buddy," if you said to me, "Buddy, let's go
I would.
Yankees," you would go. You would be there.
I would certainly look at tickets. That's my answer to that. It wouldn't be cheap, brother. Wouldn't be cheap.
I know, but I'd spend it.
Those tickets are going to start with a 1. It's going to be more than just 3 digits long.
I would hope not. That would suck.
Maybe not that much.
No, maybe like $750. You're talking like you're going to a Taylor Swift concert.
Taylor Swift tickets are $1,000.
Yeah, dude, they're a lot. Well, at least $750. They're a lot of money. Yeah, they're a lot of money.
Ticket? A lot of concerts.
I mean, a lot of them right now are kind of in the thousands. You're not.
Yeah, but hold on. A lot of tickets now are sold in blocks of 4, 5, 6.
Not. I don't.
Is it 1,000 per ticket or is it 1,000 per block? That's still ridiculous.
So,
bro.
all right. Would you
want
want
like $50? Is ridiculous.
All right. So, for instance, she's going to be in tour. She's going to be in Indianapolis, November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Right.
Sure.
So, if you want to sit in section 449, and that's behind the stage, it starts at 1,971.
Sheesh.
And so if you want to do a firm where you want to pay like per month, that's like $237 a month. So it's like paying for car insurance.
Layaway. My goodness.
So but like point I'm trying to get at is that Taylor Swift, they're a lot of money.
No kidding.
So credits to Tay-Tay. Love of Taylor Swift, the music. Do I think that the hype with the NFL and all that, do I think it's a little too much?
Oh, Brandon, we've gone through this before.
I know we've gone through this. Yes, I do. I know, and it's relevant to football. But hey, the NFL's got the bag, so hey, I give the NFL credit. But either way, I still love her music. I still think she's talented, but
you're a Swiftie?
What?
You're a Swiftie?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you love her music?
Like, I don't know her.
I
don't know her 1989 deluxe or whenever she came out. I don't know. I was in the car with Swifties one time, and they all was singing in unison, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." They were like, "This is from the 1989 deluxe re-release." I'm like, "Huh?"
Remaster.
I'm just saying, yeah. Like what? Like, huh? Like, how do you know this? Like, what? I don't know. What are you gonna say?
I cannot stand a lot of people singing in a car.
I mean, the other day when I saw you,
I'm going to be honest with you, Brandon. It is the quickest way for me to get angry. It is quicker than anything else I could think of.
I mean, the other day when
singing, number one, quickest way for me to get pissed off.
Okay.
One of the big reasons why I don't like going to clubs.
I
have zero patience.
The other day when I saw you, I saw you on the road. You know.
Yeah, dude, I was rocking out to some Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I mean, you were just rocking out. You weren't singing to it. You were just rocking out. I was like, okay. So I see what you mean. You know.
Yeah. Guns N' Roses.
But no, I am not a Swiftie. No, I love Taylor Swift. I like her music. You know, I mean, I'm saying like I think she's a great person. She actually has donated money. She gave money to like decent amount of money to like her truckers. Her like roadies.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. That she treats them like royalty.
She's pretty generous. Yeah. So, do I think the fans are a little crazy? Yeah. And I've told some people that like I know Swifties and they know how I feel. But like I said, granted, like I said, Taylor Swift, great music, great artist, a great person. And that's all I'm gonna say. Positive. Like I
Yeah,
said. But where was I going with it? I forgot where I was going with this.
tickets, World Series,
Right,
Yankees,
yes.
Mets.
So, but
I'm
like I said,
shocked I remember that.
but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. But like I said,
I'm here for you,
I
bro.
don't think but I don't think they would start off with if I had, for a World Series. And I know the economy is crazy as today and is, especially for, I mean, ticket prices. I don't think it would be that much for, I mean, in today's day and age, I would say maybe like 650, 750, maybe. And this is at like City Field.
That's a paycheck, man.
I can't imagine like Yankee Stadium, how that would be.
Oh, I would definitely buy tickets. I would definitely look at tickets. I don't know if I'd buy
I
them.
would say I would maybe buy like 500, maybe 450, maybe. But, you know, but then again, hey, we only could
I
dream.
think 500 would be the most I'd go. I
500.
spent 200 for the gold medal game when I went to the WBC. And
Yeah.
that was also I was also 8 rows off the field. And it was the gold medal game. But we didn't know who was playing yet. That was 220. And there was like 180 or 150 for Japan versus Mexico tickets. Those were high up. Those are no. It was like maybe 120, 140, something like that. Because we're up in almost like the nosebleeds. By the way, love Lone Depot Park. Nothing but good things to say about it. So,
Yeah.
dude, we spend so much time talking about ticket prices on here.
Not a problem to me.
It honestly is like one of the biggest recurring. I think we've talked about tickets like every single episode. I think we've talked about tickets. I swear, man.
You think
We
so?
don't even have a sponsorship for tickets. It's
Oh my God.
unbelievable.
We
When
talked
we
about,
do,
yeah, it's true.
woof.
We should make it like a segment.
Yeah, lowest tickets.
Those tickets.
Lowest tickets in baseball that week.
But I mean, that's all I got on the Mets, really. Hopefully, I like Christian Scott. Hopefully, they keep it well. We'll see what goes on. They verse the Tampa Bay Rays. Do they come to town? No, they travel to Tampa Bay, and then after that, they're going to be in St. Louis, and then they come back Friday, May 10th, to a series against the Braves. So that's going to be interesting. The Braves right now are 29. They have a good record. I know the Phillies are doing pretty well. Let's take a look at the standings.
You guys are only 5 games out at first.
That's not bad. I'll take it. The Phillies.
All. Given the way your season started without Kodai Senga, I know that the Braves fans would say, "Well, we haven't had Spencer Strider." Dude, but that lineup, give me a break. That roster is criminal, man. But what are you doing to those kids down there in Atlanta? Those contracts, bro, they need to be investigated by the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah,
Is that how it works? I don't know. That might be the wrong thing. Whatever. You get what I'm getting.
I just want to take a look at the Braves schedule. Let's see. Just looking at their schedule. They've only lost. Their losing streak has only been. Oh no, yeah, they've only they haven't really lost a series. They went on a tear from April 14th to April 20th. They won 6 straight. That's pretty cool. They just they've had good streaks. They finally lost the series. Well, yeah, they have only losing streak they have is 2 games. That was against the Mariners recently. But they've only really lost like 2 series so far this year. So, they're looking really good.
No.
And yeah, the Mets are only really 5 games out. The Nationals are kind of right there. The Marlins, they're there. They're last place. So it's gonna be tough, hopefully. But now to look at the AL East, Tampa Rays are last place. Then you got the Yankees and the Orioles fighting it out for first place. Both have 20 wins. The Orioles have only 11 losses. The Red Sox are 18-14, and the Blue Jays are 15-17. Definitely a tough division.
It's like this every year, man. Just about
Yeah.
4 or 5 teams duking it out. Man, it's the toughest division in North American sports by far. Somebody will be like, well, what about the AFC North? Dude, give me a break. The AFC North was literally just the Steelers and Ravens for like 15 years, bro. Stop. This has been like this for over 20.
Yeah.
been Yankees, Red Sox every year. The Orioles every now and then will go on a tear. The Rays over the last 10 have been phenomenal. Blue Jays a little more inconsistent, but overall 5 teams I think that they can make the playoffs on opening day every year, give or take. Man, it is brutal. Someone's gonna win, someone's gonna lose. So my Yankees, we have kind of been getting our clocks cleaned by the Orioles. Carlos Rodon led up 3 home runs today. Am I worried? I don't know, man. In the 4-game series against Baltimore, Juan Soto averaged 429 at the plate. Hit a couple homers. Early day homer. I'm all right with it. Like I'm honestly not that concerned. I'm rocking the Don Mattingly jersey, of course. And man, I listen, you're not going to go 162-0. Would I have wanted to beat the Orioles? Sure. But beat us without Cole, babe. Huh? Am I going to be one of those guys now that just that just harps on all the injuries? I don't know. Probably not. That's not usually my style. But listen, I mean, yeah, hit 1 homer against Baltimore. Not bad. Not bad. I'm all right with him. I'm all right with Juan Soto. I'm all right with the Yankees. Whatever. So Baltimore beat us today, 7-2. Bad Rodon outing. 4 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 strikeouts. Can't have that. 6 strikeouts, not too bad, but come on, we can't have that. 8 hits in 4 innings. Carlos, you're better than this. Anthony Volpe, 1 hit. I mean, we're still leading him off for some reason. Okay. That's tremendous. His batting average has dropped 400 points since we started leading him off, it feels like, but whatever. What do I know? Page unresponsive. That's great.
What happened?
No, I'm trying to look up the stats for today's Yankees-Orioles game, and the page was unresponsive. So, I mean, like, listen, our team, I'm all right with it. Judge still not how he's been over the last couple of seasons. But, he'll get there. He'll get there. He torched Milwaukee. Oh, my God. Torched them. Just hit multi-hit games, I think, every single game for Aaron Judge against Milwaukee. So, listen, man, it's there. I'm not worried about the team. I'm not worried about the roster. Clay Holmes hasn't given up a run over the last 15 innings. We're grooving. I know people are expecting me to get all riled up. No, that's not the show.
It's what everyone's waiting for. No, I'm kidding. You give your best style like
I'm fair.
On Evan Neal. How dare you? Actually, no, I don't think the same thing really get mad about the Yankees for. I mean, well, they're fighting it out in first place. They have 20 wins.
Yeah, it's is what it is.
Let's take a look.
Like I said, we're without our third best player right now in Garrett Cole.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just saw something where he's gonna come back June.
Yes. Yeah. Hey man, as long as we can stay top 2 in the division by the time he gets back, fine. We're fine, bro. Gotta relax.
Got you. Just relax.
Just relax. Colorado Rockies should not be relaxing. I'll tell you that much.
I agree.
Was it 6-game losing streak they're on? 5-game losing streak? Oh my gosh. Now, it's not like I expected them to be like a championship contender or anything like that. But I'm going to ask you something, and I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid right off. Why have the Rockies always been so bad? Your take.
I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I mean, they went to the World Series in 2007.
They got swept.
They did. They have some decent players. They have Chris Bryant and some other players. I don't know. Maybe just they're not attracting. Maybe it's hard. It's hard to play in Denver. It's hard to play in that. Maybe the climate. Even though I know you could hit it. You can like a routine foul ball or routine like pop up could probably go like out of the ballpark.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's not like that anymore.
Maybe it's just they're poorly run. I know they had some organizational problems recently over the past couple of years.
I don't understand it. Now I understand not getting pitchers to want to sign up over there, and maybe that's a big part of it. But I don't think.
I mean, I might be wrong, but like,
I don't think the core.
do you remember like what was their star pitcher ever? They've only been around not that long.
Ubaldo Jimenez is probably their best they've ever had. German Marquez is pretty good, but German Marquez isn't good anymore. He's been pretty bad, like the last couple of years. Thus, of course, I'm just throwing German Marquez under the bus and thinking of a totally different dude. That's like their guy now, isn't it? I do have to say they've whiffed on a lot of the big contracts they've had. Chris Bryant has been like unplayable for them. I'm not trying to sound like a hater, but I'm going to sound like a hater.
Let's take a look at their roster.
Their pitcher, Jake Bird.
Oh my lord!
They don't have Daniel Bard anymore.
The Marlins and the Rockies, man. That's definitely fun. That's definitely a fun game to watch.
I guess they don't have German Marquez anymore. Okay. Dakota Hudson.
I remember they had Charlie Blackmon.
He's good. Charlie Blackman's still like pretty decent.
He's still. Where is he?
Oh, he's actually hitting. All right, he's having a really bad year.
He's still on the team. I remember he's always been good though. I remember I've known him for a long time. He's always been good.
Jay Cave every now and then he does something.
Ryan McMahon, Elias Diaz. That's Jacob Stellings. Are they like rebuilding?
Brandon, that's kind of the thing I'm getting at here. I don't know what they're doing. They're competitive in a lot of games, but I do have to say the one thing that hurts the Rockies, maybe this is just a me problem, when they wear the purple jerseys, it messes with my eyes so much. I don't know if it's the way it's filmed. I don't know if it's the ads they have at home plate. But my gosh, does it mess with my eyes?
They don't have Kyle Phelan pitching. He's on the IL.
That could be it. Who else is on the IL? Is it Marquez on the IL?
So it's Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant's on the IL.
Chris Bryant's always on the IL. Listen, I genuinely one of my favorite players when I was a teenager. Loved Chris Bryant. He needs to retire.
Really? Okay.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say retire, but the days of thinking Chris Bryant could get back to what he was at the Cubs, he's never going to get half that again. He's always injured. When he's not injured, he's bad. He's bad. I'm just going to call it how I see it.
I don't know why he would have signed, and I'm not shaming the Rockies, but what made him think to sign there? There wasn't any other.
Did you see that contract, big man?
No, he got a big. I know he got a big contract. It's
Bro,
so I get it's
ransom because no other team would give him a king's ransom. All right, so German Marquez on the IL, so is Antonio Senzatella.
Did you see it, or did you want me to bring it back up?
No, it's okay. I saw what I need to see.
Let's look at this. Yeah, I remember when Chris Bryant first came up. It was huge. It was a big.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big catalyst for them changing the rules with prospects.
It sucks that he got traded from Chicago to San Fran. It's crazy that they couldn't find a way to keep him because he meant a lot to that team. He was a big part in that 2016 Cubs. And it's a shame that he couldn't really finish out his career with the team. But the teams are going to do what they're going to do for the benefit of their team. For the future. That's why I look at the Mets, even though it's rumors that Pete Alonso might not get traded. But if they're going to listen to offers because at the same time they're going to see what's best for the future, or just if you want to keep a homegrown talent. But like with Chris Bryant, it's like I said, he was a big part of that team. That all the players they had, Javier Baez, Addison Russell, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, John John Lester was the pitcher on that team. So Kyle Hendricks, you know what I mean? I can go on for Kyle Schwarber. Like that was a really good Cubs team. Like throughout the beginning of from 2015 to 2016. So I just think it's crazy. It's sad that they just couldn't find a way to keep them together. But that's what happens. That's sports, and that's my take.
Yeah, and their last playoff run was 2021. No, I'm sorry, it was 2020. They had Yu Darvish. And obviously there was no fans. So it sucks that they couldn't really watch them. That was
last year? Last year they had that crumble, right? That collapse.
Yeah. Yeah, but they start off the year like really bad. So I give them credit for them even making it a race.
Right.
And you remember, they were my pick to win the division.
Yeah.
So you remember, I was really locked in on them.
I remember the Mets. I'm sorry, keep going.
They got eliminated. They were the 3 seed in 20. They got eliminated by the 6 seed in Marlins. And yeah. And they got blown out. Both games. The Marlins really put a beating on them. It wasn't like the games on score-wise were close, but it didn't feel close. And that was the Marlins, who didn't have superstars or anything like that at that time. Like Miguel Rojas was probably their best hitter on that team, 2020. And I understand Sandy Alcantara was a baller, and they had guys on the team that were a baller. But you can't get your doors blown off by John Birdie. I'm just going to be honest. I keep forgetting, they had some guys on that team, man. Ryan Stanek, but they overall, the Cubs, that team just kind of aged out. And Chris Bryant, I think his reputation at this point is better than it is. And the same thing for Javi Baez. Javi Baez, we've seen how he was. He was good with the Mets. And then he went to the Tigers, and he's another one. He's been unplayable.
Yeah,
really bad. He's been one of the worst hitters in baseball. It's I don't know what's happened, man. I don't know what's happened with him. He was always obviously, some people would say, a little undisciplined at the plate. We just kind of swing at everything. But now, man, it's really caught up to him. So it's crazy. Rizzo's streaky now. But he's so good at playing defensive first base, I kind of don't care. As a Yankees fan, whatever he gives you, he gives you. If people are expecting Anthony Rizzo to be our second or third best player on the team, you're crazy. That's just not who he is at this stage in his career. But it is kind of nuts to think about. None of those guys really panned out.
Yeah.
The way you would have thought. Guys had a good career, obviously, but what I'm saying is, you really thought Chris Bryant was going to be the face of the league. The Cubs, he breaks the streak. No, it didn't work out. Couldn't stay healthy. They gave up on Kyle Schwarber. He's been kind of a journeyman since then. I don't know. Just a weird team, man. Just a weird team.
Yeah, but
I don't know how we got to that from the Rockies, but Chris Bryant,
they got a ring out of it, though.
They got a ring out of it. They did, and they're off to a terrific start this year, man. They beat your guys. And
that's credit too,
I don't know, man. They're looking good. They're looking good.
Mm.
They're not leading their division. They're a game behind the Brew Crew. You remember, Brew Crew were my pick to win that division. And they actually have a series against them starting today, Thursday. So, Joe Ross is here. Good for him. I didn't know he was.
It's crazy how they got Craig Counsell.
Yeah, that's interesting. I still am not entirely sure what happened there. I was expecting to find out more. Why?
He was supposed to be the Mets' next manager, and then Next thing you know, the Cubs came in the way. It was either
Right.
stay in Milwaukee or sign with the Mets. And next thing you know, Chicago comes in. The Cubs.
Yeah.
Um,
A credit to them though, seizing an opportunity. Oh boy, Merrill Kelly 60-day IL.
I guess, yeah, that's just how it is.
Nope. And those fell off. No. So we're a month into the season. Fully now. I think a lot of teams are starting to get a general sense of what they are and who they are, their identity. Any teams that you feel like panicking on, or do you feel like everyone's about where we expect them to be?
It's a good question.
I was just see a few. We do this every week, just about, but got to be honest. Fourth place, Arizona Diamondbacks, 14-18, 5.5 games out of first in the division. Not terrible. 6 games out of first, the Houston Astros, 11-20.
I
Just
think the
a few
Astros.
weeks
Yeah.
ago, just a few weeks ago, the Angels were number 1 in that division. Now they're last. The White Sox can't buy a win. 6-25, 14 games out of first. I want to talk about falls from grace. Oh my god! And the Minnesota Twins. We haven't talked about them at all, but we will talk about them shortly. 10-game winning streak for them, sweeping the White Sox twice, 7-0 in those games, and then 3 against the Angels. Not good teams, but you got to win against who's on your schedule. So kind of interesting, man. On these teams that, obviously not the Twins still aren't first place in their division. 10-game winning streak, and they're still in fourth.
Right.
So just kind of some of these teams, man, not what we would have expected out of them. Cardinals 14-17, 5.5 games out of first, 2-game losing streak. Not terrible, but still kind of seems a lot of, very similar to last season when they had nothing but problems and nothing but trouble. So I don't know. What do you think? Any of these teams you want to talk about as to why they're failing, or do you think the Twins could keep up this 10-game winning streak pace? They got a series against Boston.
I think so. It's definitely going to be a fun series. I mean, it's Boston because Boston's trying to stay alive. They're like right at the bottom of the Yankees and the Orioles. So you want to see how that goes.
Mm.
They got a good lead, so I don't think the Blue Jays are going to take over them anytime soon. They're only 2.5, really. They're not that far away from the Yankees and Orioles, so you want to see how they're going to stay. It's definitely competitive because, like I said, Twins are on a 10-game streak. They want to keep it going. The Red Sox, they're still trying to stay alive. Only 2.5 games back of third, first place in that division. We should talk into the. We should bring in the Astros. What's going on with them?
I don't know. They just designated Jose Abreu for assignment.
I saw that.
Kind of a weird season for them.
It's a weird season. 11-20. Not a good season for them so far.
No,
only
dreadful.
Yeah.
A lot of it's been the bullpen. We spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, how Josh Hader has been a complete bust for them, and Ryan Presley hasn't been better. And people going into the season, I don't know if I'd say it was unanimous. I definitely saw some rankings that had the Pirates as number 1 for bullpens, which kind of surprised me. But I think I could speak for a lot of people, certainly. When I say the Astros were expected to be a top-tier bullpen, and for that to have been a lot of their problems, especially against the Yankees, and we'll see that series Tuesday, Yankee Stadium. You and I are going.
That's right.
Some friends of mine.
Yeah, man.
That's really surprising. Jose Abreu, I mean, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just getting impatient. He was kind of a late bloomer for them last season. Then the last month of the season, he was terrific. I mean, he was hitting everything. But their new regime, it's not Dusty Baker there anymore.
Yeah, who would have known that would have had such a big impact?
I don't know. A lot of people questioned his managerial decisions last year. So Joe Espada has his work cut out for him, man. This is the worst. Well, I don't know if it still is, but as of a few weeks ago, it was the worst start of their. We spoke about it. Worst start of their season since 1969 or something like that. So they got to turn this around, man. They got to turn this around. I'm looking at the Mariners and I'm looking at the Rangers. You're not going to be able to make up ground against these teams late in the season. These two teams, the young, scrappy underdogs, are now veterans, man. And the Mariners and Rangers, you got to watch out for. Got any thoughts on the Astros or not really?
No, I think I said what I said. They definitely different from Dusty Baker. I guess they get used to the new leadership. It's crazy. The Jose Abreu relationship with the Astros didn't work out as much as they had hoped for. That's definitely concerning. At the fact that this is their worst start since 1969. But another team I want to talk about, the Seattle Mariners. They're them in Texas, and the Athletics. Look at them; they're not that far behind. It's just I feel like a lot of these divisions, everything's kind of tight so far. It's only May. A lot of the teams, you're either only 2.5 games. You're either only 2.5 games back or 5, or 6, and that says a lot.
Hmm.
So I think it's definitely these division leads are teams are. It's more. I feel like it's so far pretty competitive. The start of the league, like the Mariners, like I said, and the Athletics are fighting it out against the Rangers, who is the same record as the Mariners. The Athletics are only 15-17, while the Mariners are 7-14, and the Rangers are 17-15. Um, it's interesting. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised by the Athletics being as good as they are, especially credit to them, especially with all the drama going on with the franchise. These guys really don't know what's going to happen for the future of the team. And yet they're winning games, man. And it's not exactly like they have like one superstar player putting in work. Although I got to tip my cap to Mason Miller, who's been terrific, having 8 saves, tied for 7th most in the league, with an ERA of 126 and 29 strikeouts. That's not bad at all, man. That's not bad at all. And some of those games came against good teams. 2 against the Yankees, 1 against Baltimore. So, I mean, credit to him, Mason Miller. But, like, they haven't had, like, aside from him, who's a closer, I mean, Paul Blackburn's having a good season, 3.34 ERA. But they're not leaning on one guy to win. They're being a very, balanced team, which I think a lot of people are surprised by. Those kind of nothing names we saw on the roster before the league started, but when the season started, those guys are turning into something, man. Some of these dudes are good. History Ruiz, I like Tyler Nevin. He's having a really good season. 325 batting average, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, and an OPS of 875. That's a good start to the season, man. That's a good start to the season. So Mark Kotze, I'm not sure the pronunciation there. Doing a good job managing this team, especially, like I said, with all the chaos of what's going to be happening with them. What's going to be happening? That's English, Dennis. Yeah. What's going to happen with them moving forward next season, this season, whatever. So it's hard to keep a team focused when all this is going on. Curious what happens with them. Yeah. Do you think there's any teams right now that aren't exactly running away with their division. Like a good team that you think is going to take that step and take that leap right now, whether it's the Yankees or the Royals who are having a good start to the season. Maybe it's the Guardians run away with their division. Do you think there's anything like that? A team that's kind of knotted up in one of these races right now that's just going to pull away? Maybe not for at the end of the season, but for a little bit here about due for a run. You're muted, buddy.
I think it's going to be interesting to see with the AL Central. Thank you for that.
No problem.
The Twins are on a 10-game winning streak, and I think they're going to be fighting it up with the Guardians. I think that's going to be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up running away with it. Depends how the Guardians play, because they've been looking good too, and the Royals too. They got a good roster. It's gonna be interesting. But I don't really think there's anything in particular. I don't know if there's any other team that's going to be running away with it. And granted, it's only the beginning of the first month of the season, but that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, by running away with it, I don't mean like, oh, they're going to go end to end and win the division. I just mean like a team that's like kind of due for a run. But as you said, it seems like a lot of teams this year, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm misinterpreting what you're saying, are either really good, really bad, or really mediocre. And I understand people say, well, no, duh, Dennis, that's just life. But I mean, like teams that are kind of middle of the pack. I feel like there's more middle of the pack teams than usual. Obviously, there's the teams that are single. Sorry about that.
Bless you.
Thank you. Teams that are middle of the pack. I mean, like teams like the Cardinals, teams like the Twins, teams like the Rays. Again, teams that aren't exactly like trash, but aren't going on a big run here. Obviously, the Twins are, but even with that, they now are at 13 wins. A monster 10-game winning streak still only gives you 13 wins. That's nuts. So, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I don't remember this happening. And maybe because there's more playoff teams now, more teams feel complacent. They don't feel like they need to get that extra superstar as much. Well, personally, I would go the opposite direction. Maybe they're just more confident in their system and just trying to out-depth other rosters and other teams, other organizations. I'm not sure. But I just feel like usually around this time, we have a few teams that are off to like monster starts. Maybe I'm just wrong. The more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe this is always like this, and I just never really paid attention to it as much as I am now.
Nah, you're good.
It is early to be scoreboard watching and standing watching, but I don't know. It's always interesting to see what teams, because we know one of these teams is going to win a World Series, but which one is it? How early can you tell?
The world may never know.
The world may never know. San Fran snapped Boston's 4-game win streak today. Mike Yastrzemski had a nice game in the place where his grandfather Carl used to roam left field. One of the greats, Carl Yastrzemski was. I think he hit a home run too. Giants won 3-1. Yeah, our boy hit a home run. Mike hit a home run. Good for him. Man, they didn't let him finish the game. They pinch hit for him later on. Oh my god. These teams that just overthink everything, man. Ugh. Probably know the dude could have gotten injured. But what, 6 different pitchers too? 5 different pitchers. God. It's a different world, man. It's a different world. This was not the baseball I thought I'd be watching when I was a kid. He still says he's active. All right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before I wrap up the show? Or
Not today. Bobby Dahlback is still in the Red Sox?
I guess so. Yeah.
Wow. Who would have thought? No, I think we're good.
All right. All I say to you viewers, you lucky viewers, is that we thank you for joining us in another edition of Battin and Chattin. For my co-host Denis Tuohy and the entire Blackjack Group Media Group team, I'm Brandon Natale saying so long, and we'll see you next time.